In some other news tonight, it's been nearly 15 years since the Crosse Center's last major expansion. News 8's Pauline Lee joins us now in our studio with why some say it may be time for another one.
Well, the oldest parts of the Crosse Center are more than 30 years old. The building hosts more than 200 events annually. That's stayed about the same over the years, but some say if they're not attracting more events, it could be considered a step backwards. From high-flying acts to some of the biggest names in music, the Crosse Center has seen it all.
This has been really good for the community.
But the center's director says the wear and tear is starting to show.
33 years old, you start seeing a little bit of the age on the edges. Heating, the lighting, the sound system, the technology that's involved with the building, and making sure that's up to speed.
There's also the floors and the fold-out walls that could use an upgrade, not to mention the 1980s arena seating.
In here, every time I talk, I could be talking $500,000.
The Crosse Center Board Chair Brent Smith says now is the time for board members to talk about any possible changes to the building.
If we want to keep some of these conventions, whether it be the Wisconsin cheesemakers, whether it be organic farmers or others, we have to grow. They are outgrowing us.
Anything is a possibility at this point.
We want to take a look at whether we do nothing, we remodel, or we potentially expand.
But both say it's going to take a lot of planning before anything happens.
I don't want to be standing around and stomping out one fire at a time. So long range, have a plan in place here so we know what this is going to look like and what we need to address here.
Now, Smith says discussing about long-range plans for the Crosse Center will become more of a routine during the board meetings from now on. It will take about at least a few years for them to figure out what, if any, changes need to be made and the costs for the changes before making any tangible plans.
Thanks, Pauline. The chair of the board says the option of tearing down the entire building and building a new one is not very likely. The board will be looking more at repairs and possibly an expansion.